what's up, and welcome to the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. I'm your host, Kat Kozad, manifestation expert, money mindset and fulfillment coach, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur. Come sit with me while I spill the real tea on what it's like to practice using intentional manifestation, demystify all of the woo-woo and confusing bullshit that comes along with creating the life of your dreams, and give you a realistic view of what it's like to be on a personal, spiritual, and professional growth journey. The goal of this podcast is to support and guide you towards manifesting all of your dreams, shed light on the things that people are too scared to talk about, and encourage you to become the person who gets to have it all, be it all, and do it all. I am so happy you are here. Let's fucking do this thing. What's up, loves? Welcome back to another episode of the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. So today's podcast episode is based off of a question that I got from a Q&A that I posted on my Instagram story this past week. And there were so many people that voted for a episode on this in the poll that I did. And so on this podcast episode, we're going to be talking about my personal opinion on what casual sex does to our energy and how it can impact you attracting and manifesting your dream partner into your life. So with this episode, I want to put the preface, put the disclaimer out there at the very beginning that this is my opinion and that there is no judgment whatsoever for anyone who chooses to engage in casual sex. I used to be that girl. I used to have casual sex all of the time. It is something that I no longer do for the reasons that I'm going to be talking about in this podcast episode. But I believe that if it is your body, it is your choice. And there is literally, again, no judgment whatsoever. This podcast episode truly is for anyone who's wanting to question their relationship with casual sex and the role that it plays in their life. But if you engage in casual sex and you are so there for it, then more power to you, girl, because I think that you absolutely get to do what you want with your body. And again, I'm just putting this out there as a preface because ain't none of ya gonna come for me for this episode because truly, I don't care. Do what you want to do with your body. I think it's awesome. We all should. It's the greatest thing of being a woman. We get to be empowered to do what we want to do when we want to do it. But again, this podcast episode is for anyone who wants to question their relationship with casual sex and the role that it plays in their life. So with that being said, in my personal opinion, our pussies as women are the most powerful parts of our bodies because they are literally the center of life force energy. They are the center for inspiration. They are the center for intuition. They are the center for basically all of the juicy, high vibe, incredible energy inside of our bodies. And our pussies as women are connected to our hearts and to our minds, which then lead us in helping the manifestation process, lead us in our day-to-day lives, and really help us creating and calling in what we want into our physical realities. So with that being said, when we choose to give that part of ourselves away to people without being discerning, then we are essentially giving away a lot of our life force energy and creating an energetic tie to that person, whether we want to or not. And with all of that, so when we choose to give that part of ourselves to somebody else, they are quite literally penetrating our energy. They're quite literally penetrating the most powerful part of your body, the most powerful center for your energy and your essence inside of yourself as a woman. So knowing that there's a whole lot that goes into that. And not only on the energetic side, but also as women, so many hormones are released for women while we're having sex, whether we want them to be released or not. And it is almost impossible for us to not form some sort of connection to that person that we are having sex with. And again, this doesn't have to be an emotional connection. It's an energetic connection. It's the hormones. It's all of those things that are being released inside of ourselves when we choose to have sex with someone. Whereas for men, they are built completely differently, and they truly can have sex with someone without forming a connection to them. And this isn't a bad thing. This isn't something that like we need to get all pissed off about, because I think that there's way too much of that when it comes to the differences between men and women, because men and women are different. We are not created equally, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. If we were created equally, we wouldn't be attracted to each other. And this is also in this whole podcast episode, very much so centered around and talking about heteronormative relationships, because we're talking about men and women and the sexual engagements between the two of them. So know that as I am talking about all of these things, I'm talking about women having casual sex with men. Because I can only speak to that experience because I've never had sex with a woman. So with that being said, it's okay. That's the polarity that we experience. Men and women are different. Yes, have we fought for equality in the workplace and in rights and all of these different things? Absolutely. And that is incredible. But to say that men and women were created equal isn't necessarily true. There are things that women can do that men can't do. There are things that men can do that women can't do. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. So coming back to the sexual aspect of this, men do not form connections in the same way that women do, because they don't have the same hormones that we do. Our hormones are so fully prevalent and released during sex, whether it is with someone that you have an emotional connection to or not. And also on the energetic level, when you allow somebody to penetrate this energy center inside of yourself, this center of all of your feminine essence and life force energy inside of yourself, then that is going to form an energetic connection to that person on some sort of level. And this isn't always consciously, because we can have casual sex with people and be like, oh yeah, still don't have any feelings for them, blah, 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 XYZ, whatever the story may be. But it's not the emotional or mental connection I'm talking about. It's the energetic connection. It's the energetic tie that you build to that person when you engage in sexual relations with them. And I can speak from personal experience on this because, genuinely, I used to be the queen of casual sex. I went through a period of time in my life, basically from the age that I was 19 to the age of 23, where I had tons of casual sex. And I will say that season of my life genuinely was very fun. And again, going back to what I was saying at the beginning, it's no judgment whatsoever if you are in that season where you are wanting to have casual sex with different people. But the casual sex stopped for me when I genuinely started to understand that I wasn't looking for a casual connection. I wanted to manifest a partner into my life and actually have a long-lasting, committed, fulfilling, intimate relationship with someone. And as I started to really become more intentional, get honest with myself on the fact that I did actually want to be in a relationship, continuing to have casual sex really wasn't allowing me the space to be able to attract in and manifest that partner into my life. And that is because, again, when we are engaging in sexual relationships with people that we are not intending to then be in a relationship with, we're still creating an energetic tie to them. And if you've listened to the podcast, you'll hear me talk about this with things like money. But when you have ties to things that are not necessarily quote unquote serving you, then it doesn't allow you to become a clear channel to manifest what you want into your life. So a lot of the times when it comes to money manifestation, it's like you're releasing the different stories from the past. You're releasing the money shame, clearing your financial past, creating new belief systems, acting in alignment with the abundant version of yourself. And when it comes to then attracting and manifesting like the partner into your life, if you've been trying to attract and manifest a partner into your life and it hasn't happened and you're still engaging in relationships with people of the past, or actively and consistently having casual sex with new people, then that could be something that is actually blocking you off from being in receiving mode and being in alignment with the person who actually can be that partner in your life, the person that you're actually wanting that long-term committed relationship with. And so for me, as always, full honesty, full transparency here on the No Bullshit Manifestation Show, in the first 2 years of being very honest with myself of the fact that I wanted a committed relationship with somebody, I still was having casual sex from time to time with other people, which always felt as though it was blocking me off from something, whether I was wanting to be honest with myself about that or not. And it hadn't been until the past year of my life that I have not had casual sex. I've only had sex with one person that I've been emotionally attached to, that this has started to shift for me. And I am currently on the journey right now of intentionally manifesting that partner, that person into my life, wanting to be in an actual committed relationship with somebody. And for me, at least, it's been such a huge shift in the men that I am now attracting into my life, that I now go on dates with, that I now am pursued by, from the kind of men that I was attracting in the past when I wasn't being intentional and discerning with who I was choosing to be a part of my world and allowing, again, to quite literally penetrate me in that kind of way. And not only physically and sexually, but also on the mental, emotional, and energetic level. So what all of this is essentially to say is if you are on the journey to attract and manifest your person into your life, if you're wanting your dream person, being intentional with who you are having sex with, who you are quite literally allowing to energetically penetrate you, is going to be massive for your energy, because whether you are consciously aware of it or not, it is affecting you in some sort of way. And when you are creating all of those ties to other people, it's going to weaken the power that you have for attracting and manifesting the person that you desire into your life, because you are not a clear channel for the person that you are truly wanting to be with when you are energetically connected to other people and energetically putting out ties to other people that you don't 100% align with and want in your life. Because essentially, the universe is always responding to us. The universe is responding to our energy, the behaviors that we embody on a daily basis, what we're choosing to accept and tolerate in our lives. And when you are consistently allowing someone who's less than what you want into your life, somebody who doesn't energetically align with you, then the universe is going to set that as your standard, because that is what you are actively accepting in your life. And when you are accepting that as your standard, but you are trying to raise the standard of what you want, it requires you to release those old ties, and it requires you to hold the energy of what you truly want and what you are available for, and saying no to anything that doesn't meet up to that standard. And like I said for myself, it's like, honestly, like fucking mind blowing to see the difference in the men that I used to attract and manifest into my life from, let's say, like, honestly, even just like 2-3 years ago versus the men that I now attract into my life by allowing myself to set a higher standard for myself and stay in that energy of value for myself, of this is what I'm available for and I'm not available for anything less. And it's been, not gonna lie, a challenging journey because we all have our desires, we all have our sexual needs that want to be met, and it can be challenging in those moments to say no to sex when sex is the thing that you genuinely want. But learning how to say no to those experiences and remain in that position of what it is that you truly want for yourself and holding on to that as the standard, then that is going to redirect the universe's energy in helping conspire to attract and manifest in the person who can fully fulfill all of the things that you desire in that potential partner. So all of this to say that one of the most powerful things that we can do as women, like I said at the beginning, is like learning how to connect with your pussy and honoring it in a way that you haven't before. Because in our society, and I could go off on this and I could genuinely do a full podcast episode on this, we as women have been taught basically from when we were born to not be connected to our pussies. We've been taught to think that they're gross, they're nasty, they're smelly, they're all of these different things, when in reality, like, your pussy is the center of inspiration inside of your body. And when you choose to connect to it and honor it, then you are truly going to get in touch with your feminine desires. And not all of these desires are going to be sexual or sensual. These desires are so much more than just the sexual part and just the sensual part. Whereas again, we have been conditioned to believe in our society that our pussies are for two things, which is having sex and making babies. And that's not fucking true. This energy that they possess and that energy center inside of our body is connected to our hearts, to our minds, to our inspiration, to the energy that we possess and the way that we attract and manifest things into our lives. And for me, since getting in touch with my pussy, I have felt so much more connected to my desires in my life. I have felt so much more crystal clear, so much more connected to everything on a daily basis, and like have clear vision of the fact that connection for friendships, connection for intimacy, connection for a partner, and truly being with somebody who can and will fulfill all of the things that I want is what is truly leading me at the moment. And I am currently on that journey of manifesting my dream man. So y'all stay tuned because you know there will be updates when it happens. But again, it's allowed me to just be so much more connected. And with that, it's really connected me to pleasure. And it's connected me to joy on a daily basis. It's allowed me to return to like this playful, fun, intuitive, flowy version of myself that I was so disconnected from for such a long time due to just like all of the bullshit and the lies that we are conditioned to believe as women about this part of ourselves, about this like fucking powerhouse of an energy source inside of ourselves. And again, I have so many thoughts on that. That could be a full podcast episode in and of itself. But all of this to say that I think that more power lies in us as women reconnecting to our inner wisdoms through our pussies more than any of us know. So much more than any of us know. And when you give yourself that power back and you are very intentional and discerning and deliberate with who you choose to share this powerful, powerful, divine energy with, the more power, the more beauty, the more play, the more pleasure that you are going to experience in your life on a day-to-day basis. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on casual sex and how it impacts us when we are trying to attract and manifest a partner into our lives. And if you have any other topics that you would love to have me talk about on the podcast, please, please, please send me a message over on Instagram. My handle is @CatCozad. You can also find the link to it down below in the show notes. But this is not a topic that I would have ever thought to have talked about on the podcast. It only came through having it being asked as a question on my Instagram that led to the inspiration to do this. So please let me know, what is it that you want to hear me talk about on the podcast? The juicier the better, as you know, and as you hear in the intro. I want to talk about the things that we all want to hear, but we're all scared to talk about. So let me know, like, what are the things that you want to talk about on the No Bullshit Manifestation Show? Because as I always say, this show is for all of you, and I want to make it what you want and need. So with all of this being said, I'm sending you all of my love, and I'll chat with you on the next podcast episode. Oh my gosh, thank you for listening to today's episode. I am so grateful to have these no bullshit talks with you. If you enjoyed today's episode or the podcast as a whole, please spread the love by leaving me a review on iTunes or sharing the podcast with others. This is how I will be able to spread more of these good vibes and be able to make more of an impact on the lives of others. And if you're not already part of all of the goodness and communities that I have to offer, check out the show notes. I have links to the different ways that I can support you on your manifestation journey and help you live a life full of more money, fulfillment, and freedom. But that is all for now. So big love and hugs, and I will chat with you soon, babe.